deploy the same application using Terraform. We'll use Terraform to deploy the application. We're doing manually, right? So we'll do it automation. Do through automation. We'll create the servers through Terraform, and those steps which I have showed you, I'll pass it through user script for the server. It's deployed through automation. So let's do it through ANSI Terraform. Yeah, let's start by creating main.tf file. As I said, already I have VPC in place, so I'll have to reference this VPC in my code. So this is the VPC. This is the VPC which I have, so I have to reference it in my code. So I'll try to reference it. To reference that, we can use that data. The resources which are already there, we can reference it using data. So I wanted to give a name, selected VPC. I'll filter by name, right? So I have to fetch the details by name. So name I can give tag, name. Values would be the name of the VPC. What is the name of the VPC? Hosting VPC, right? So we'll give the name of the VPC. So it will reference it. It will take the VPC name. Yeah, so we are getting the data. We are getting the VPC in our script. So we are getting the data. So we are getting the VPC name, and then we'll try to get the subnet also. Subnet name also we'll try to get it. Subnet would be hosting VPC, hosting public 1. This is subnet name. So we'll fetch that also. This is how we fetch the already existing things from the cluster. We have to reference it in our code. We have to fetch it like this. So name, hosting public 1. Curly braces missing there, and it is associated with VPC, right? So we have to give VPC name also. VPC ID data AWS VPC select VPC. So now data security group also will not right, will already fetch the existing security group. host values hosting was the security group name. Security group name. I'm sorry, I have to search in EC2. Today it would be hosting VPC-SG. Yeah, this is the security group name. It is also associated with VPC, right? So VPC ID. Let's create an instance using the above information. Let's create the instance. AWS instance. I would give the name as server. Deployment server I will give. AMI, I have the AMI, so I'll use the existing AMI which I have. Name, we can variabilize this, but let's keep it like that only. I have the AMI, so this is the AMI. Instance type, let's use T2 medium. Key name, I have the key, so key name is testing dev 1. Subnet ID, let's give subnet ID also. Subnet ID, data, and at the end we have to give ID because it would reference using the ID, subnet ID. It creates an ID, so it would try to reference it using that ID. So yeah, so after this let's add tags. Let's give the name as deployment server. Let's put it in double bracket. Add the server name which you want to give, and let's configure output also, like what output we need. Server public IP. Need deployment server public IP. So deployment server public IP we need. So I said, right? So description, the public IP address of server instance. Value, let's reference the AWS instance ID. We have to instance dot public IP. Yeah. So this would create one server in a VPC in subnet, and it will attach this security group. It will attach. Yeah, so we have to add user data also, right? So for that, let's add user data also. Security groups we have not added. So VPC have to reference it using ID. Again, we have to add ID at the end. We have to add user data also. So user data file. Let's name that file as file.sh. create file.sh file. Let's create a log file first. Want to log each and every command. So what's happening in each and every command. Want to log that file. Want to save that in home Ubuntu setup script, setup log.txt. You have to add timestamp for the log message. Let's add timestamp for the log. Echo using will use key. Let's update. Let's apt get update -y. Update the package, and then after updating, let's install git. Let's add log also, log message. Yeah, so it should log both. If the exit code is 1, or if the exit code is 0, it will log the log according to the according to the exit code. So installation, if it fails, it will log as failed. Now let's update the packages. message. Let's install pip3. Let's log message for that as well. I'm logging each and every command. So for our benefit, I'm doing this. Go apt install python c pip. This is the command, right? So let's get to the command. This is the command. Let's create directory. This is the command, right? So after this, let's create directory. This is the command we have to run. Let's log for that as well. Log message directory creation failed. After this, let's get into the directory, right? So home. Let's not log for getting into home. Home, Ubuntu, app. After this, this is the command. Creating virtual environment. Let's log for that as well. Should be Python 1.12. creating a virtual environment now. Log for that as well. We'll log that as well. Virtual environment activated. Activating the virtual environment. For activating also we have to create a log file. Let's do it. Yeah. I'm activating the virtual environment. Let's create a log for that as well. I'm creating log for each and every command which is being executed. I'll make changes to this code as well in future. So not in future, like I'll just optimize this code a bit. So now let's clone the repository. For cloning the repository, right? This command is cloning the repository. By this but for now I'm doing this. Okay, service for flask log message. Create systemd service for flask. So how do we create? Let's end up give log this as well. The reason I'm logging is because we are passing as user script, right? So we don't know which command it is failing. We are doing trial and error. So for right now we are doing trial and error. So we don't know which command it will fail. So we want to have the understanding of what command failed. So for that only I'm writing. I'm logging each and every command. No need to log each and every command, but I'm logging it. Message reloading. Systemd and enabling flask app service. There is a command for that, right? So systemd reload. So there is a command for this, and there is a command for enable also. Let's write fastly. Log message write for this also. Let's write last one line before we need to start it, right? So we'll start the service also. For start also we'll log. If there are any errors, it will log that errors also. Log this also. And get the status also at the end. Is completed. So we have created a user script for complete this complete file. So let's try to run let's try to run the Terraform and try to see if it is working fine. We have created two files, main.tm, meme.tf, and file.sh. So we have created two files, right? So please don't forget to remove the node, because that is chargeable. So whatever I am doing, it is chargeable. So it is not T2 micro, it is T2 medium. So try to destroy the instance after creation of after your experiment. So I would suggest you to destroy the instance immediately after the experiment is completed. So I'm also destroying it. So whatever I am doing it is not using free tier. So it is a paid one. So some dollars you should be able to pay. So that's the thing. So I'm destroying the server now. Our experiment is completed, so I'm destroying the server. You can also destroy your own server once it is completed. That's all.